Hi, I'm Filippo Mazza, and this is Unit 4, Activity 2, Assignment 1, the Game Reflection High Five. So, I just finished playing the My Personal GPS game with my avatar, and so I'll be reviewing how the High Five messages relate to the decisions I made in the game and ultimately their outcome. So, the first message is change is constant. So, throughout every activity, within every activity in the activity actually that you had to do, things are always changing. So if you went through one step and it didn't work, something changed. You noticed that, it didn't work, so now you have to come back and change your answer and make it better to try and, get the right answer. And so it's always changing. All the outcomes of the games are always changing. And so that changed the outcome of the game for me because I needed to change my answer, obviously, to find out which one was the right one to complete the game. The next one is focus on the journey. So at the beginning of the game, it told you to do your base stats, basically, of what each learning skill you think you had. So more or less, you kind of wanted to make sure that what you said reflected how you played the game. So you had to focus on the decision that you felt was the best. So you had to really bear down and think, which decision do I think is the best to complete the task and to beat the game? So throughout the whole time that you're playing the game, you have to focus. You have to think about, how is this decision going to affect what's going to happen? How is it going to be better? How is it going to be worse? Should I do this decision or should I not? So there's a lot of things that go through your mind when you're playing the game. And when you focus, ultimately you get a better result than if you were to just click things randomly and you weren't listening to what people were saying closely and you weren't paying attention to what you're supposed to do. So because of the fact that I focused and I listened to what each person said, and I tried to make out what I'm supposed to do, ultimately I was able to do better in the game and get the right answers because I listened and I focused on what I was supposed to do. Next is learning is continuous. So throughout the whole game, even when you get your wrong answers or your right answers, you learn from it. You learn that, okay, next time this didn't work the first time, so maybe next time I shouldn't be doing this. Or you do it right and you learn something new, like, okay, maybe in my future when I'm actually in real life, maybe I should think things over more and talk it with people and speak with people about it instead of just going ahead and doing it like I want to do it. Maybe I should see what everybody else wants to do and compare those answers with mine, or take the initiative and actually carry out the plan to start talking with people or to make a decision. So that kind of thing, when I'm learning, it helps you to beat the game because you learn that, okay, well, maybe in a future assignment in that game I should try this instead because it worked last time and I learned that. And so when you learn things continuously throughout the game, it helps you to do better in the game. It helps you complete the task. Number 4 is to team up with others. So especially in the collaboration aspect of the game, you have to be able to listen to what the other characters are saying to make reasonable suggestions of what you're supposed to do next, to find out what does the game want me to do to get the right answer. So teaming up with others is a big part of that game, and if you do team up with others and you listen to the other people's answers and you work together with them, you try and see what would work, you might be able to go farther, or not might, you will be able to go farther in the game and get a better outcome than if you just decided to do it by yourself and just made random answers that you thought were right. So teaming up with others is a big part, and it's also a great skill that you're going to learn in life because you're going to need to team up with others. It's not always going to be you against the world, and that's not always going to work. It might work a couple times here and there, but going by yourself isn't always going to work. The last of the high five messages are follow your heart. So in the game, you are supposed to listen to the other people and you're supposed to find out the directions, but ultimately, what you believe is the right answer is what you are going to click in the end, most of the time, because that's what you believe. That's what your heart is telling you to go, okay, this seems right, I'm going to click on this. And if you follow your heart, for the most part, your decision will be right, for the most part, because that's what you believe is the right answer, and it turns out most of the time to be the right answer. There are times where you're not going to end up getting the right answer because you chose to follow your heart, what you thought was the right answer, but it's not. But even then, you don't seem that discouraged because in the end, you did what you felt was right. And even if you didn't get it right, it doesn't matter because at the time, that's what you thought you were supposed to do, and you did it. So it's not that big of a deal. But if you do follow your heart, it ends up you get a better outcome in the game because you're making the right decisions. You're making the informed decision that your heart is telling you to do instead of just clicking randomly on something and hoping that you get the right answer. You're actually taking time and then you're following what you think is the right answer. So this has been Unit 4, Activity 2, Assignment 1. Thank you for watching.